More than 65 million years ago, Earth witnessed an enormous and unprecedented disaster. A giant meteor approached Earth at tremendous speed and collided with it suddenly and destructively. This impact led to the extinction of a vast number of living creatures, encompassing all forms of life on Earth, from giant dinosaurs and massive reptiles to birds, small mammals, and even insects. Plants were not spared either, as they were significantly affected, leading to the extinction of many species. Despite the widespread chaos and total destruction that engulfed the entire planet, some creatures survived this horrific event. This raises an important question. How did these creatures manage to survive a catastrophe that the giant dinosaurs themselves could not? Weren't they living on the same Earth that was struck by the devastating meteor? While dinosaurs lived alongside these surviving creatures, we find that some species managed to endure while others perished. It is natural to assume that the strongest are the ones capable of withstanding harsh conditions, but the truth is that dinosaurs were among the most powerful and dominant creatures on Earth at that time. However, the creatures that survived this catastrophe appear weak and fragile by comparison. What is the secret that allowed these creatures to survive? Welcome to this episode, where we will attempt to answer an intriguing question. Why did some animals that coexisted with dinosaurs not go extinct? But before we begin, if you are new to the channel, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and activate the notification bell to receive all new updates first. Let's start our journey by going back 65 million years, specifically to the day the meteor collided with Earth. We are now in the lands of Mexico in North America, just a few hours before the impact. The situation here is calm and stable. Plants are spread everywhere with strange shapes and large leaves, completely different from the plants in our time. There, you can see one of the mammal species, and what's flying over there is not a bird, but a type of lizard. Be careful, because what's happening behind us now is the ferocious Tyrannosaurus, attacking any creature that moves in front of it. Let's hide behind any tree until it leaves the area. No need to worry. The dinosaur in front of us now is the gentle and very small Eoraptor, which might also be hiding with us from the Tyrannosaurus. But watch out. It seems that the Tyrannosaurus has found us due to our loud noise and is now thinking of attacking. Suddenly, something astonishing happens. A meteor about 20 kilometers in diameter collides with the Earth, producing one of the loudest sounds in the planet's history. We must now return with the time machine to avoid any damage that might occur due to this massive impact. And because we are lucky, we managed to survive thanks to our time machine. Unfortunately, most living creatures at that time did not have such a chance. The meteor collision left an enormous crater, the largest you could ever see in your life. This resulted in a massive spread of dust and ash clouds everywhere, to the extent that they blocked sunlight. It even caused huge tsunami waves that flooded all areas near coasts and shorelines. Additionally, the level of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere significantly increased, leading to a rise in Earth's overall temperature. Also, the land was poisoned by the metals released from the impact. The hot rocks that detached from the meteor caused wildfires, creating destruction and devastation everywhere. No one knows when these tragic events will end or when life will return to normal. But while waiting for this and waiting for conditions to stabilize, animals still face a very challenging struggle to adapt and survive. Some went extinct because they couldn't live in these conditions, while others managed to survive. Unfortunately, the giant dinosaurs were among the first group, the ones that couldn't adapt and live in the new environment. In fact, it wasn't just the dinosaurs that couldn't adapt. More than 60% of existing creatures couldn't survive and went extinct. You might hear a statement like, how could giant creatures like dinosaurs go extinct due to the environmental conditions that occurred, while other creatures like small birds, mammals, and reptiles survived the disaster? In reality, we need to clarify that the massive size of dinosaurs wasn't an advantage, especially in such critical conditions. Due to their enormous bodies, they required vast amounts of food. At that time, Earth was suffering from a severe food shortage because of the event, reducing their capacity to survive. As for the smaller creatures, they needed very little food compared to the giant creatures, which is why their chances of survival were much higher. And so, we will mention several creatures that existed during the time of the impact and managed to survive, explaining in detail how they were able to endure and continue. Mammals of various kinds existed during the age of the dinosaurs and were among the species present at the time of the collision. Fortunately, Mammals were very small in size compared to dinosaurs. There were mammals the size of rabbits and mice, and their small size reduced the amount of food they needed. This helped them find numerous hideouts and shelters to protect themselves from the impact's dangers. Additionally, some of them had the ability to live in burrows within water bodies, away from the many dangers on the land. Over time, these mammals managed to reproduce and grow in numbers, eventually becoming the dominant species on Earth today. Apart from the moving creatures, there were also types of organisms that couldn't move. Unfortunately, these creatures didn't have legs, but rather a network of roots and leaves. Plants were among the significant casualties of the disaster. The Earth lost a vast amount of its green cover due to the absence of sunlight, which couldn't reach the planet's surface because of the widespread ash and dust clouds. Additionally, the oxygen levels during this period were very low, less than 2/3 of the current atmospheric oxygen. As a result, most plants perished, affecting the rest of the food chain that depended on them and contributing to the extinction of many creatures. However, there is a bright side to the story. Plant seeds were buried underground, and while the plants above couldn't withstand the harsh conditions, these seeds managed to survive. They waited for the situation to stabilize and for the dust clouds to clear. With the arrival of some rain, plant life began to flourish again, and this is exactly what happened. Returning to animal life, let's talk about the true survivor, worthy of the title king, which is the crocodile. Crocodiles are among the largest reptiles belonging to the order Crocodilia. They have very long bodies, short legs, and sharp teeth. In fact, they resemble dinosaurs in their external appearance, but they have outlasted them in terms of survival. Crocodiles can live for a long time without food, and this period is not just a day or two, but can extend to a whole year. Imagine a creature that can survive for a year without eating. One study even suggests that some crocodile species can live without food for up to 3 years, which is a substantial reason for their survival. All they need is to find a suitable shelter and go into a deep sleep until conditions stabilize, then emerge again. Additionally, the crocodile's respiratory system allows it to live in environments with low oxygen levels. During the period when oxygen levels were less than 2/3 of the current level, crocodiles could live and breathe comfortably. Therefore, all these factors contributed to the crocodile's endurance and survival. While many creatures were searching for a place to hide, one type of animal didn't need to because it carries its shelter on its back. Turtles, both terrestrial and marine, are incredibly unique creatures. Despite being similar to other reptiles, they don't have any special features, and in some aspects, they might even be less advanced. For example, they are very slow, lack teeth, and don't have any defensive mechanisms except for the hard shell on their back. However, turtles manage to survive many disasters that other reptiles, including dinosaurs, could not. Not only that, but they also preserve their species. Remarkably, over the past 200 million years, turtles have maintained 80% of their species without any extinction. One of the most distinctive traits of turtles is their ability to enter a long hibernation state. It's likely that while Earth was experiencing that catastrophe, turtles were in a deep hibernation, which helped them survive. Despite the impact of the catastrophe on marine life due to oxygen depletion and the absence of sunlight, the damage suffered by marine creatures was less severe compared to the rest of Earth's inhabitants. The disaster caused by the meteor impact occurred directly on land, so the seas and their inhabitants were somewhat distant from the dangers occurring outside. Therefore, marine life was not as severely affected while the dinosaurs went extinct. For instance, we find creatures like the jellyfish, which has been around for 500 million years, an icon of longevity and antiquity, unaffected by any of the disasters that occurred, maintaining its existence. The jellyfish we see today is from a lineage that has spanned around 500 million years, and it wasn't just jellyfish that survived, a vast number of fish did too. Over 90% of the bony fish species that live underwater survived the catastrophe, and about 80% of sharks also maintained their existence despite their large size. The primary reason for this is that sharks are among the strongest marine creatures ever, characterized by high agility and physical flexibility, making them well equipped to preserve their existence up to the present day. In fact, the extinction of the dinosaurs and the end of the Cretaceous period provided a significant opportunity for mammals to thrive, multiply extensively, and inhabit most parts of the world. Indeed, by the Eocene epoch, mammals had flourished and dominated every corner. Dense forests re-emerged and plant dominance returned. Marine life also began to stabilize. Life on Earth started to take on a new form, as if all that had passed was just a fallen leaf from the mother tree in autumn, waiting for the rain to flourish again in spring. So, today we have answered the question of why some animals that coexisted with dinosaurs did not go extinct. As usual, if you have any questions, write them in the comments below the video and we will answer them. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit like and share it. And for those discovering our channel for the first time, click subscribe and activate the notification bell to receive our videos first. See you in the next episode.